Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. I am participating in Christy's Beautiful Life's 30 Days of Sketches again, and we are using this particular sketch. And I went a little bit off sketch today, but it was definitely inspired by that sketch. So I'm going to start out with this craft paper that has this really large kind of chevron on it. And I'm using this stencil, and it is from the Crafter's Workshop. I've had it a long time, but it is called Chicken Wire Reverse. And I saw somebody else use this years ago on a project, and I had to have it, so I bought it, but I never did use it until now. And I am so happy that I have it because it's perfect for these pictures of my grandson with my daughter feeding the chickens at their house. And I decided to go ahead and use some Nuvo glimmer paste or shimmer paste. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I think it's glimmer paste, and it's in silver. Actually, I believe it's called Quicksilver. And I'm going to go ahead and just put that through the stencil. I did spray my stencil with a little bit of pixie spray to kind of help it stay on the paper and not lift up. And that is just, it's like a light tack removable adhesive, and it does a really great job. And you can see there that the stencil worked out really great, and it's really hard to find stencils that actually portray the wire versus the negative space and leaving the wire open, and that is what I loved about this particular stencil. So I'm using some paper from Amy Tangerine's Picnic in the Park, and then that red paper is just from my bin of scraps. I don't really know who it is by, but the black floral on the reverse is that blue paper that's next to it. So it's just the same sheet of paper, just the reverse side. And rather than having so many photos that the sketch has, I am just doing these 3 photos, and they are going to be not lined up perfectly. And I rather like them like this. I don't know why, but it just kind of spoke to me. And a lot of times I do things like straight across and perfect, and while the gaps between them are perfect, I do kind of like that there's a little bit of a flow and movement to the photos. So that's kind of why I decided to do that. And I did back them with just some black cardstock. And I'm using this punch from Stampin' Up, and I think it is called Ornate Tag Topper. I could be wrong on the ornate part, but it is one of their tag topper punches, and I have 2 of them just with different. One has more of a scallopy look, this one's a little bit more simple, and I just love them because you can make any paper into a tag. The only limitation is you can only do 2 inches wide, but you know, for these purposes it works great because you don't really need anything much wider than that to put behind photos, so it works out really well. And I'm not actually leaving any tag visible or usable. They're not going to be so that you can pull them out or anything. They're just going to be tucked in as decor. So this little pink paper, I'm not sure where that's from. It's just from my scrap bin also, but it matches the pink in the flowers on that floral paper, and it has some chicken wire on it as well, and so I thought that was perfect. And then the yellow polka dot paper matches the yellow florals, and that's from my scrap bin as well, so I'm not really sure where that's from either, but I like that there is some text in the polka dots, and it's a little bit of a distressed text look, which I think adds to everything that's going on in this layout, because it's not going to be quite a perfect layout. I like kind of the distressed look in this case because he's outside, he's with the chickens, there's a lot of wood in the paper, or in the pictures, because their chicken coop is made out of wood, and so I thought it went really well with the craft cardstock. Now, since I didn't want everything to be perfect, I am actually going to take that border strip off the right hand side that I had already adhered down, and I'm going to redo it with these ripped edges, and I'm going to swap the red and the blue so that the red is next to the floral and I kind of like how that looks a little bit better. The pattern on that red is just these little arrows, and they're kind of distressed looking as well, and it's just the arrowhead. It doesn't have any like tail on it or anything. So and then the blue is a tone-on-tone polka dot, and I like how that looks a lot better with some movement to the edge of the paper. It's not so straight. And I decided to go ahead and black everything. I decided to go ahead and ink all the way on the edges in black. I'm not blacking everything, I'm just inking around the edges in black, just to kind of give it a little bit of a worn look and to give a little bit more definition to the edge. So with the black on the right hand side, that black floral paper, I decided to that would help bring the black all the way around the layout, and since the photos are actually backed in black, I thought it would work out really well. Now that piece that I had ripped off, I am going to reuse it. I'm going to use this tag punch or label punch from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to punch it out of that blue paper that I am removing the adhesive off of, so it did not go to waste. I'm going to go ahead and use it over. I'm just going to do something slightly different with it. I'm going to go ahead and punch out 3 of those, one for each of the photos, and it does get a little bit matchy in this layout. It's not my normal style, but it works, and I think it works out okay. Since I have the pink and the yellow represented in both of those, in either side, either the right or the left hand photo, I didn't want to bring more yellow and pink in. So that's why I decided to go with the blue and the red, and those are the majority of the main colors that are represented in that black paper. There is some like turquoise and some green and orange, but it's very minimal, so I didn't want to pull in any of that either. And so I'm going to go ahead and layer up that little label with the red heart, and I'm inking all of these as well. I did ink the tags. The only thing I didn't ink was around the photos because they're backed in black paper. And I have used Christina Sorge's awesome tip of buying the photo mat paper at Hobby Lobby, and it's like 4.5 by 6.5, I believe, in dimension, and it's just a stack of black and a stack of white, and it makes it really easy to mat all of your photos. You don't feel like you're wasting a lot of paper. And you're not cutting into your 12 by 12 paper to mat a few photos and then having a lot of waste left over. So I highly recommend that, and if you wait till Paper Studio stuff is on their 50% off, you can get it super cheap. Now I am going to go ahead and pop all of those up onto some foam tape, and it looks like I'm double stacking it there, but that white foam is really thin, and it's basically just kind of making up the difference between the mat on the photo and the photo, and the part that hangs, the label that hangs off of the edge was kind of like tipping down, so I just kind of put that underneath the edge that is not on the photo to make up that difference. That was a really convoluted way to say that, but hopefully you understood what I'm saying. It's kind of late here, and it's been a long day, so I'm kind of tired, but doing my best to get this done. And then I went ahead and used a tiny punch of, it's a heart punch, and I punched it out of the black piece of that border strip that I had pulled off, and I punched it over some of the pink and yellow florals so that there's black showing and pink or black and yellow on each one of those little hearts, just to bring in a little touch more of those colors. And then that's just my adhesive eraser holding that right hand side down because it wanted to pop off, so it's just adding a little weight so that everything stays, in case you're wondering why that was sitting there. And I'm trying to figure out where the best place is for that one. I didn't want it to blend in too much with the paper that it's on top of, but I think I found a place that worked really well because it's on top of that yellow tag, and so that kind of helps it to show a little bit better. And in real life you can actually see it really well. It's not a problem. Now I'm using these stickers. I think these are from one of Paige Evans' collections. I don't know which collection though, so I do like that it has a lot of different colors, and all of the colors in the word helper are represented in that black paper, so it's just bringing that color over to the left hand side. And then instead of writing little, I'm just going to write lil, and I'm writing L-I-L, and I think that's how it would be written because the TT is missing. But then I also realized that the E is also missing, so I'm not 100% sure on that either. But that's how I wrote it, so that's how it's going to stay. I suppose I could peel it off and look it up, but I don't know. It works for this. And he is a little helper. He is totally 100% comfortable going in and taking care of, well, he doesn't really take care of the chickens all by himself, but he goes in and he gives them their chicken scratch, and he wants to feed them and make sure they have water, and he always wants to check and make sure that there are eggs, and he's really gentle with the eggs. I actually even have a video that my daughter sent me of him playing with an egg in the bathtub, and it was actually an egg from the chicken that was not hard boiled or anything, but he was playing with it in the bathtub and he didn't break it or anything. I'm not sure if they actually ate it after, but he's really good with them and doesn't seem to drop them or anything. So he does enjoy taking care of them, and I think it's awesome because there's a lot of kids at that age that he's not even 2 in these photos. A lot of kids at that age that are kind of leery of animals, that they're not around a lot. And I mean, he's around these chickens quite a bit, but you know, some kids are not really comfortable with that kind of thing, especially when they're that little. So I'm adding these little little black word sayings, and those are from Tim Holtz, and they say, the one right above the top photo says noteworthy, the one by the bottom photo says sweet life, and the one on the right hand side says beautiful day, and the one right above the title says brave. So that's going to do it pretty much. I'm going to add a few matte black enamel dots, and that's going to be it for this layout. So make sure you go check out everybody else who's playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life. Christy's definitely playing along, so you can go to her channel. I will have the links in my description box down below. There are several ladies playing along every day this month for the first 30 days of the month anyway. And I seem to be playing along on all of the even days so far, so I'm hoping to continue that. And I will see you in, not tomorrow, but the next day, because that is another even day of the month. Take care. Have a nice day. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I will see you next time. Bye-bye now.